Matt, just that's the fourth loss in Mackey. What's been missing in those moments in second halves,
Yeah,
you think?
obviously today was a little bit different because it was really, the Illinois game was close. Obviously, we played well offensively in the Illinois game. I thought we did some really good things. Today, this was just kind of, finishing out the game. We had to be better in the second half. I thought they were better than we were in the second half. It's hard to put them all together and pinpoint, You got to be better in a little bit of every area. I thought the difference in this game was, we only turned the ball over 9 times. They were better than us, and they turned over 6. But they turned those 9 turnovers into 19 points. That was a big piece of the game. And not to say that they couldn't score them in the half court, but you got to, you'd rather have them earn them that way than us turning the basketball over and then them, getting 19 points on 9 turnovers. That's huge. That's huge. Like if they go get a 2 every single time, that's 18 points. I mean, that's off the chart numbers right there. So had to do a better job there, had to do a better job of containing the dribble. We had really good defensive possessions when we kept the ball out of the paint. When the ball got in the paint, their chances of scoring drastically went up.
Matt, I think you attributed this to Coach Katie, but you said to win the Big Ten, this is a couple years ago, to win the Big Ten, you have to win your home games and
Yes.
half of your road games. Is that why it's harder to take not winning a Big Ten title, that these losses have piled up at home while you've done what you really needed to do so far on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it shows you how good our league is, because all the teams that have beat us are really good teams, right? And that's kind of traditionally how you got to kind of look at it. If you can win your home game, split there, now you're going to be in it, but it doesn't mean you'll get it. Like in this year, you weren't winning it for what Michigan's done, right? You're just not, because they've only lost 1 game. But yeah, it's obviously it's not easy to win at home, but it's easier. And you got to be able to take advantage of playing at home, and we just haven't done that. But it hasn't been for a lack of effort. We got beat by a good basketball team today that's well coached. I thought they were a little bit better than us. But you make one more shot, and you feel great about yourself, right? But at the end of the day, you really, as a coach, you just got to look at some of the things and keep working and keep getting better at it.
To go back to the turnovers, because of those 9, I don't even know how many of them were live ball. It was a lot of dead ball turnovers. Is it really more a defensive problem at the end of the day, or defensive lapses that cost that?
Oh no, when you get in transition, obviously, and they turn the basketball over, you're up against it. You just, I can't go through every single one of them because they're not in my head like that. But if they're 4-on-2, you're up against it. If they're 5-on-3, you're up against it. But even 3-on-3 and Cohen Carr's in the equation, you're up against it, because he's not human. Because you throw that ball to him on the break like that, and he's there like that, you're just done, right? You're done. There's nothing you can do at that point. There just isn't. The people that cover him are nodding. There's just nothing you can do. What you have to be able to do is take care of the basketball and not let him get in those positions. Easier said than done, but that's what you have to be able to do. So,
Matt, 3.4 seconds left, inbounds from the side. Just how difficult is it to set up a quality look?
Yeah, we had a couple different options. And then kind of how we were going to play off each different option. And obviously one of them with Braden coming back off of it. Yeah, it's tough. You put yourself in that position and you want to get a quality shot. And no, there's a couple different ways we could have went with it. We went back to him. And, the worst thing in those situations is you don't get a shot, right? That's as a coach, that's a nightmare for you. It's you don't get a quality shot. And it wasn't probably the best shot we could get, but you got the ball in the hands of a really good player. And, in those situations, you just, you have to be able to execute. You have to be able to do it, but you're up against it, right? You're up against the clock. You're up against a lot of different things. But that's what happens when you put yourself in those positions.
Matthew Ostrowski of the Purdue Exponent. Jack Benter had a really good game today, 11 points, 3 rebounds. What does he give your team defensively and offensively?
Well, in this game, the way things were going, he gave us a 4 that could switch ball screens, and we were struggling to keep the ball in front of us. And so, like, it doesn't mean that, like, you're perfect in that situation, but he gives you that flexibility. Obviously, for us, playing them, your concern when you do that is now you took a really good rebounder off the court. So you're trading a little bit. So now you're really trying to get him to understand, like, hey, we got to switch these ball screens. We got to keep him in front, but we got to really, we really got to compete, and we got to rebound the basketball. And then offensively, he does a lot of things for us. He stretches out the D. He can pass. He can move. He can make deep threes. He made that really nice play where he banked it. And I thought he had a pretty good look when he played behind the ball and he shot that 3. And I know it's crucial, but it's a shot that he's already made in the game. I thought he was great. It's really hard for those guys that come off the bench for you. It's really hard for those guys to play, 10 to 20 minutes and get a feel. But they've done a good job of it. I think our bench has done a really good job.
You already just kind of answered this, but you went extended minutes kind of with the small ball tray at the 5. Just
Right.
what did you like about that lineup, what they were giving you?
Yeah, well, we wanted to open some things up, and we wanted different people to guard Trey in that. And I thought we did a good job. I thought they gave him a lot of attention. He had 7 assists, 1 turnover. So, Braden play makes, and he has 10 assists, 4 turnovers. So between them, they have 17 assists, 5 turnovers, which are pretty good numbers, right? You're over a 3-to-1 assist-turnover ratio from 2-year playmakers. But, yeah, we were just we thought we had to put more skill out there. We thought we had to put that. I thought Oscar had a really good first half. And then, the start of the second half, it looked like he was gassed and got scored on a couple times, missed at the rim a couple times. But I thought he was, in that first half, he gave us some really, really quality minutes. And but we just felt that was the right move at that time. But you're also leery now because you're changing stuff. And, can we hold serve here and rebound the basketball? And I thought we did. I thought, being able to out-rebound them was huge. That was huge. That kept us in the game. In my opinion, we had to have 3 or 4 fewer turnovers, and we win the game, and we didn't. And I know 9's not a terrible number, but in a game like that where possessions are so, every possession meant so much. Yeah.
Coach, Braden got his 1,000th assist tonight. Obviously, that's not a surprise to any of us that was about to happen, but how impressive is it that he has been able to do that, be one of the 5 players in history to have that?
Yeah, he's a fabulous player. He's great. Everything that he gets, he deserves. He's put a lot of time into it. He's sacrificed a lot. He's worked on his game. Basketball's an important piece in his life. But no, just honor to coach him, and he's been great for us. He's been fabulous. He's done a lot for Purdue University.
What's your disappointment and or frustration level with the inconsistency defensively in terms of keeping the ball out of the paint, carrying out all the responsibilities you guys give them?
Yeah, no question. That's a big thing for us is trying to figure out what's the best approach to be able to, break people's rhythm, get them off the three-point line, but keep them out of the paint. When Michigan State was in the paint, good things happened. And when they weren't, we were more successful. And it's frustrating, but it's also it's your job. Get it figured out. It's not like carte blanche with this team. This is what we have to do every single time. We felt like we had to high hedge with Jeremy Fears or he's going to get in the paint too much. Last year we were in drop, and he just killed us on those lobs. We didn't have great discipline as our low man, and we just felt like last year we had, because of the situation with TK, to protect him and keep him out of foul trouble, is to play in a drop more. And so we really wanted to hedge high, but we knew Fears would take those high hedges and then try to attack our 5 as he, retreated back to his man and sprinted back to the rim, and he's really good at that. And so at times we did a good job at that, and other times we didn't. But more than anything, Jeremy Fears is a good player. The thing that gets me is the layups in the second half. We don't jam the basketball. They kick it ahead and Carr dunks it. We don't get the ball stopped. We got 5 people just running to their men blind as Jeremy just goes and gets a layup. Those are the possessions that stick out. You can't have those egregious plays to where nobody sees the ball, no one's worried about getting it stopped. It's the most important thing.
You touched on rebounding a little bit. Nobody out-rebounds them. They out-rebound opponents by like 13 a game.
Yeah.
And this was something that wasn't a strength of your team last year. Have you seen throughout the course of the year, this is now a strength of Purdue's, that this can take us deep in the postseason with the way we can rebound with what
Yeah,
Oscar
it's a
has
good
added?
silver lining in the game. It's like every game has to be that way. You know, you have to be able to rebound the basketball. You got to get more possessions. Obviously, we had a great game against Nebraska on the road and out-rebounded them. And our execution was great in that game also. But, yeah, Michigan State's been great. When I looked at their stats, whether, you know, it was away or home or last five or the full season or conference, there'll be something in there in a category to where somebody's not great in one of those areas. They're great rebounding in all of them. You know, so the fact that we did that, but, you know, you get gauged on that final score, and they scored more than us.
Matt, you've played against a lot of different iterations of Michigan State, and I'm just wondering, with this particular group, what you see is their potential and strengths, and what could be a hiccup for them going forward.
Well, I like their toughness. You know, I think he has guys that fit him, and I think that sometimes when you have a little bit of that, the one thing that you can do with him is you can do a case study because he's been there so long. So you can go 30 years and then look at it and say, okay, when has he been better? Sometimes when you have just the best talent, you'd be like, oh, these are our guys. Well, you're winning a bunch, but are they like your guys? These are his type of guys. Like Carson Cooper, Kohler, like their development and like getting better. Like Zach Edey used to wear them dudes out. Used to wear them out. Well, no one's wearing them out now. And that's what's great about college basketball, when guys come in and they struggle and they learn and they get better each year. So I don't know. Like Jordan Scott's helped him because he can shoot the basketball. You know, Fears is just a competitor, just a winner. Kurtang really helped him tonight. Cam Ward really helped him. Like you look at their bench, and both those guys get 4 field goals. Kurtang ends up with 13. He ends up with 8. But yeah, like, you know, in games like this where they don't dominate the glass, like how would they be if that happened more often? But they just came in here the road and got out rebounded and still won. So I think that's a great sign, because that means other parts are really good, right? The turnovers, like if you turn the ball over, man, and Jeremy Fears gets the ball right away, and Cohen Carr's like somewhere on the court, like it's crazy. Like I've been in this league for over 25 years. Like I've never seen anybody like him. Like he goes, like I always tell dudes, sprint like you stole something. Like he sprints like he stole something. Like he's gone. Like and that's when it's over. Like there's nothing. Like what are they supposed to do? Like what are you supposed to do? Like don't get in those situations, right? But no, I like their team, man. They're tough. They're physical. They're athletic. Yeah.
Matt, there's not many times in the last decade, 2 decades, where either of you guys are basically out of the Big Ten title race at this point. But a game like this, you know, at the end of February going into March, how does this help both of you guys?
Yeah. Well, I think what we're, you know, the most disappointed for us is you're trying to jockey to get that triple bye. So now, like, you're playing fewer games. Like last year, we didn't get there. It was the first time in 10 years we didn't get there. And I think 10 years is right. So that's more than anything, because you want that lead up to the NCAA tournament to be a little bit more pristine, right? To where, like, you know, okay, we got 3 games in 3 days instead of 4 games in 4 days. It's not the end of the world, but it's still, that's what you're jockeying for. But no, it's the silver lining for us is that we can out-rebound at Michigan State. Like, that's the silver lining for us, because if you're going to, you know, get in the NCAA tournament and get to a Final Four, like, you're going to run into some heavyweights. You're going to run into Houston. You're going to run into Arizona. You're going to run into Duke. You're going to run in the heavyweights, right? The 1 seeds, the 2 seeds, like whatever. Well, we're both trying to be that. But for us, kind of looking at that, like, hey, if we can out-rebound these guys, like we can add that to our offense. Now we got to do a better job defensively and keeping the ball in front of us. But both of us are in good positions. Like, we just like to be in better positions and still compete. That's what I said about 2 weeks ago before we played, you know, Michigan. If we can't beat Michigan, then now, like, we're not playing for a Big Ten title, and that stinks. That absolutely stinks, because to be able to play 20 games and have a chance to win it and win it, is what it's about, because it's a grind. People don't understand, man. It is a grind. So when you see those legendary coaches and you see how many times they win their league versus the tournament, not to say that winning a conference tournament's not important and not hard to do. It's just not as hard. So for us, I think we're 6-2 right now on the road in the Big Ten. So trying to finish some things off, now we got to go play 2 road games in a row. And, we got to learn from this. But no, it's been fun competing against them. They've to say Michigan State's made us better and to say that he's made me better would be an understatement. They're the ones that went to 8 Final Fours, right? Last time I checked. And so they've made us a better program, and he's made our staff a better coach. His staff's made our staff a better coach just through competition.